Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the West Coast, where today we're going to be selling some silage because money is a thing that is always good on maps. I don't know if I don't know if there's a trigger for doing this precisely, but we'll find out. You can see how BulletBill's done this very easily. He's popped the normal silage clamp under the... it does work. He's popped the normal silage thing in its entirety under grate. I don't quite know why he's done that. I don't think it was 100% necessary to put the entire thing under grate, but he did. I guess in reality it would be something similar to that under grate. It would probably be something probably resembling a bit more of a shipping container than a feed mixer, which is the way giants have the silage pit working. It's a bit odd, I will admit. I've just realised I can in fact set up a really nice conveyor system over to the silage pit. That is in fact really helpful and really handy. I don't know if I'll be able to... I'll probably need like 3 conveyors. How much is... conveyor belt, belt systems. I don't have the other one. So 5... That'd be about 50 grand. That's not really worth it, is it? I'd be better off, in all honesty, buying myself pretty much a new I'd be better off buying a skid steer for this instead of buying a conveyor belt setup. It'll be cheaper and more useful. I could bring the skid steer over to the sheep when I don't... Actually, that might be a really good idea. I could bring the skid steer over to the sheep and... Oh no, the pigs would be more useful with the skid steer, actually. Just thinking about it. Because with the sheep I'd need 2 tools. With the pigs I only realistically need a skid steer and a bucket. Although I would need to get a trailer to move the skid steer, so I don't know. This is the kind of these are the kind of bizarre thoughts that I have on a daily basis. So it's just over 2 grand a bucket. I could get a bigger bucket. I should have a bigger bucket available to me somewhere in the menus. Many menus of Farm Sim. In fact, is there a bigger bucket than... How big is this bucket? 4,500, I'll say, liters. Telehandlers, nope, not there, but over in front loaders. There. Oh, I don't have it installed. Or activated, I should say. So never mind. I could, of course, always, and this is a genuinely tempting prospect, use a Massey Ferguson 698 or something from the Massey pack with a front loader attached to move the silage. I've just realized I don't actually need to pop up on the ramp, do I? I can just... I've been dumping it. I've been going up the ramp and dumping it. I don't need to. You don't need to do that, Dave. You're wasting your own time. Because then you gotta figure out a way to get off the ramp and not die. The quicker way to do it with a front loader, or in this case a telehandler, will just be to kind of wander up over here like this and be like, well, it turns out I do need a telehandler. Be like, bleh, take the silage. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it up to 50 grand from this pit. Huh. Now, as you can see, I have fast forwarded through to morning. It is day, I think, 2 on the map. I do have crop growth set to slow temp, well, for now at least. Just so that basically I can go through all the things and get the seeding done, and I don't need to worry about a field being half grown. Now, it doesn't normally make much difference, but when I'm trying to do this in such a way that I might change the settings, have to spray currently and have to weed the fields as well. Then yeah, I'm gonna intentionally slow growth down. Not to the point that Seasons had it, because that was kind of silly. But to the point where I can do all of that in a reasonable time frame and not have to faff about for however long trying to figure out something to do. How's this doing for silage, by the way? Yeah, it's kind of eating it at the same rate that I'm putting it in, which is I'm fine with. So maybe if I take a bit of a longer route, it'll actually eat at an equal rate to what I'm able to dump at. As I drift my way through the bunker. This is the official Japanese silage style of drifting. True fact. It's a real thing. Look it up. Or don't. Preferably don't. I may have got this stuck slightly. Okay, so maybe silage drifting was the worst idea, or the worst thing I could have done. But I have now freed myself. So it's not the end of the world. I have freed myself. I am once again free from the constraints of the silage pit wall. We're 12 grand now. So we can afford literally one conveyor belt, which wouldn't do much. So yeah, we're better off just using this for the rest of the sales. Because we're not getting anywhere near as much as I'd imagined. Actually, a hilarious amount below what I'd imagined. So, what we're going to do immediately after this is we actually do need to go up and feed the cows, because the bunker up with the cows is also finished fermenting. This is going to be a very, I guess, silage-heavy episode. And we can make total mixed rations for the cows. If I don't flip the leaper, of course. Now, those of you who've been to the streams know that there is a grasshopper on the map. I'm not planning on using it in videos. That's going to be a stream-only thing. For ease. It's an off-camera tool on this map. On the streams I kind of count as off-camera work. Granted, I know that I'm using Courseplay on camera, and that's theoretically... We've got 38,000 litres of silage left. We might break 30,000. Maybe. I don't know what I'm going to do with the money. I'm half tempted, honestly, like 100% seriously, honestly, to buy like a Massey from the Massey pack and use that down at the pigs. Now, a lot of you guys have been suggesting that I get a pig feeding station or pig feed mixer from the Giant's Mod Hub. Use that. I don't really like the idea of using that, to be honest. So I have, I think, activated my pallet extender mod. Pallets. I have. These things now hold 10,000 litres. So now I've got pretty much a double pallet and or 10 times the size pallets. So the pig food is now like 3 pallets is all I'd need. Total. Right now at least. Because obviously the pigs are... Are they reproducing as we speak, actually? It's just occurred to me. Because we started off with 50 of everything. The pigs are reproducing quite heavily, actually. I've got 8 more pigs than I intended. 1 more sheep than I intended, and 0 more cows than I intended, because the cows haven't really been fed yet. So, yeah, we're going to be doing well for animals. The cows I'm not going to sell. The cows I don't mind... I really actually don't mind them propagating to a silly extent, because yes, they'll take more food, but on the flip side, and the side that I realistically care about, a bit more, they will also require... Well, they'd be more profitable. The more cows you have, the more money you're going to make, because silage and hay, realistically, you're going to be making that anyway to sell off. If you've got grass fields and you don't want to rip them up and plant crops down on them, you're going to be making silage and hay and selling off the bales. Oh, by the way, I will be making baled silage from... for the cows, at least, from here on out. We could potentially buy another field. And if we do, it'll be grass field, I think, would be the most worthwhile, ideally up by the cows again. Because the sheep, I don't really need to worry about too much. The pigs, I'll just buy pig food and, you know, deal with them with a couple of bales of straw from the pile. It's the cows that are going to be, I think, the most hassle. However, they're also going to be producing manure. There's 5,000 litres of manure already there, and 13,000 litres of liquid manure, which is a lot more than the sheep have been producing, or the pigs have been producing. Now this is my master plan, is I'm going to be replacing the solid fertilizer with manure and slurry in time, as much as I possibly can, at least. And obviously selling silage is getting me digestate. So I'm making fertilizer and money at the same time here. Granted, I'll need a lot more silage than this to get a reasonable amount of digestate to even consider doing a single field, but it's an amount that I can deal with, because it's going to be basically free money as I go along. Especially if I sell it by myself like this. If I use Courseplay, I'm going to be losing a few pennies every time, and I don't really know if it's worth bothering to record a Courseplay course. I am noticing, by the way, that the income from the BGA is going down every time I empty this. I don't particularly mind. I'm more interested in just emptying this pit than, you know, making the most money possible. Maybe later I'll worry about making, you know, silly amounts of money. I'd like to get, as kind of an end goal on the map, £1 million or even 100,000 in the bank in the monetary accountings. $1 million would be amazing. 100,000 is kind of a minimum for me to end, and I will be buying and expanding as I go along, so the 100,000 will basically have to come from one massive sale of whatever. And I think that's reasonably doable. I think I'm playing on medium or easy difficulty, which I know some of you will say, "Oh, Dave, you're so lazy playing on the easier difficulties." Well, yes, I want to progress the map. I don't want this to be another one of the season's Let's Plays where I spend 12 episodes seeding, or spend 90% of the time on the map not doing farming or doing forestry or something. Now, I do plan on doing a bit of forestry, mainly in streams, I think, would be more enjoyable for you guys. Oh, there's the train. It's quite a long train. Does it stop at the station? No, it just passes through. That's the reason that I'm glad that I didn't get stopped by the train the other day, or Monday. Yeah, it's quite long. If I'm kind of trying to rush things, which I usually am in videos, I'm usually trying to get as much as I can done, which I think you guys can understand. I know you guys don't like me doing just the one job per video. And I know you'd like to see more than just the one job, but sometimes, you know, a single job is the best job you can do. That's this silo emptied, though. I wonder, can I afford a tractor to go to the pigs? Can I? Because I clearly have the... Oops. Just punched my mic a bit. I clearly have the Massey Pack installed. I can afford essentially 698. Or I could go for New Holland 11090. Or a T-dub with... Does this not have the... Oh, this isn't... Interesting. These are the T-dubs that do have the front attacher, but they don't have... front loader attacher. What else could I go for 35,000? Nothing out of the base game, hilariously. So it would be a mod. It would basically have to be one of the Massies. So if I were to go for, I'll say a 6... I think a 675 for 18.8 would be the best option here. And if I were to get, not in garage, in front loaders, the front loader for it, and because it's going over the pigs, I'll just need the bucket. I'll get it with teeth because with teeth is best. And I don't think there's much that I need to do over the pigs right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the cows. And I'm actually going to cheat this a bit by zipping over like this. I think actually I might have left the feed mixer. No, the feed mixer can't be at the pigs. The feed mixer has to be over at the cows. The pigs don't take TMR, so the feed mixer has to be over here. As does into... Oh, it's... Leave the bucket... I leave the front loader tools over in this yard. In fact, indecisiveness rules my life. Can you tell? Because I actually do need to go over here with the bucket, because I need to get some silage so that I can make the total mixed rations in the first place. Right, where did I leave the feed mixer though? I also need to clean out the gas. Where did I leave the feed mixer? It's gotta be down here somewhere, surely. I didn't bring it over the pigs. Did I leave it in this field over here? Do I even have a feed mixer? Oh, I know where it is. I know exactly where it is. It's at the shop. Because I completely forgot that I forgot to buy it originally and kind of bought it in a delayed manner that resulted in it being at the shop. And oh, ho. I was asked by Landy Kid where the manure spawns at the west coast the other night. I now have an answer for him. And it's the most inconvenient answer possible. And I kind of like that. So, the manure spawns in there. In the actual cow pen. So, this, I am assuming, possibly incorrectly, that this is going to be a grass trough here. And it's going to have a shovel catcher. I assumed correctly, for once. So the manure's spawning in... The manure's, like, appearing in here, and... That's realistic. I can deal with that. Because cows tend to poop in the sheds. Instead of, you know, just randomly into a very precise spot. So we got 4,000 litres of manure right here. We're going to pop it into the storage bunker, which I don't think is very realistic. I don't think in reality... I don't know. I don't live or work on a farm. I don't think that in reality you'd want something like this. You'd actually want the manure to be out in the field so that if it does spontaneously combust, as manure is known to do, because the reason you leave it out in the open is so that it can rot a bit. You don't actually want fresh manure being spread on the fields. It does have a habit of generating heat and occasionally just randomly catching fire. And there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, the heat generation is a, you know, known thing. The catching fire is a bit of an inconvenience, though. That's a kind of an inconvenient byproduct of it rotting and generating heat. So we're gonna pretend like I'm gonna power wash, or I'm steam cleaning. I've steam cleaned this directly after doing this because I am gonna be using this to get silage out of the bunker for the cows. We're gonna just pretend like I've steam cleaned this because I really don't want to get a power washer just yet. In fact, is there a logical place for me to put one down here? I've just thought there might not even be a logical place for me to put a power washer, because that's where the slurry tanker will need to go. It's gonna have to get... Okay, I'll get a power washer, actually. Just because I do kind of need one at this yard for realism reasons. And it's pretty much gonna have to go there. Is the only place it can really go. The Fast Track 8000 has actually finished work. Which, that's a pleasant surprise. So we'll stop this driver and just shut it down. And we will be very cheeky and use this as a thumbnail opportunity. Because I can hopefully do some silliness with this. Okay, let's get the walking speed down to something more logical. There we go. Just clean off the rest of the leaper while we're here, why not? I always personally use the tires as an indicator of how clean something is. Because the tires seem to be the first thing to get dirty and the last thing to get cleaned. So we're going to have to grab the 3000 series Fast Track out of this field over here. And just to save the drive to the shop and back, it does tend to help if I've got the HUD turned on. Just to save the drive to the shop and back, I'm going to real quick teleport down here. And learning what I learned either yesterday or tomorrow, I'm not entirely sure when that video goes live. I've recorded both Selby videos for the week already, so I'm at a bit of a weird wibbly wobbly timey-wimey period right now. Where tomorrow's video is already recorded, but Friday's video isn't. And I'm recording today's. So yeah. YouTube times are wonderful, really. So now we've got a feed mixer, and we've got a telehandler, we've got a Fast Track up here. And we can park the Fast Track right here, actually. It's going to be a good spot. So it'll be... Do I want to use buffered TMR? Just to save on stuff. I think that's a good option. So if I get as much as possible 4,000 liters into this, or as close to 4,000 I can get. 4,031 will do. That's as close as I'm likely to get with that. We can dump this straight into the Keenan. In real life you'd probably use a silage bale, but oh well. I'd be glad I managed to catch that sneeze before I sneezed, because that would have been a loud one. The fact that it actually made a noise still tells me that. So we now need the bale fork, which is the Kerfab. Of course, it is my favorite bale fork. We can lower that down, because we only actually need one bale of each. One hay bale or one straw bale. And the straw bale's only purpose is to act as filler. I have grabbed a solitary hay bale. The reason there's more straw bales, by the way, is because I will be using probably a lot more straw bales than I will hay. Hopefully. That's the plan. Especially if I'm using straw bales as filler. So that should be TMR now. It is officially total mixed rations. However, I want to add another bale into the mix, and that's going to be straw. And the entire purpose for straw, it is total mixed rations. I could give it to the cows right now if I wanted to. The entire purpose you add straw in game, and I think even in real life, is just as filler. It's just the cows will eat it, and it doesn't do them any harm. So just park the leaper here, because I think we'll definitely need at least 2 loads here, I think. And going in the other way is gonna give this the best looky. So let's go around. The old Marshall manure spreader parked up there, and I say lovely. It's in tatters, it's in bits, but I like it as a bit of scenery. I've seen it in a lot of maps lately. I think I've managed to... Have I managed to completely knack myself here? I think I've managed to get myself stuck in such a way that I can't get out of this. Oh no, I've freed myself, and now I know to just hug that wall next time. So let's give the cows some TMR. Some delicious, delicious mixed rations. It's going to boost their silage and hay. It's going to get their productivity up from... it doesn't actually say their productivity, does it? It doesn't. Interesting. Oh, 27%. Wow. That's going to go from 27% right up to 100 immediately. Because they're now getting silage, hay, and TMR. Annoyingly, it does split the mixed rations into silage and hay, and then TMR as well. Which I don't like. I'll be honest. I don't like that Farm Sim does that. I can see why, because it's never going to be perfectly mixed. But I don't like that it counts as being 2 different things for no reason whatsoever. And I've also just realized that the last bunch of TMR was 94% of the Keenan, so I can actually throw the bales in first this time, and then basically throw in a full bucket, or as much as it will fit, of silage. And it'll still be TMR because, hey, the mixed ratio is roughly thirds. Very roughly. It doesn't matter if there's slightly more silage than hay, it just matters that there's not more straw than silage or hay. And seeing as I'm putting in equal amounts straw and hay, it doesn't matter. The game don't care. The game just sees things going into the trailer and it's like, hey, you're doing the thing with the things. So let's get our bucket of silage. That's 4,209. Oh, that's the full bucket. Well, we'll throw a full bucket of silage in and hope it's still TMR. Otherwise, I think I don't know what forage will come out as. I've never tried that and I don't want to. So it'll magically change from forage to total mixed rations. There it is. Hopefully it won't change back to forage. Nope, 97% full, and it is still TMR, which is fantastic. So let's get this spun around here in short order. Here we go. This, by the way, is the Keenan Mech Fiber 340 from CD Models. A rather nice feed mixer, if I do say so myself. Something I do like Keenan equipment. I've got tons of ads for this thing over the past year or so on YouTube, so yeah, kind of cool to use a mod that I've been bombarded with ads about, like in real life, I guess. There's apparently... The way that this works is... Can I twiddle the thing? Ah, I can twiddle the thing. You put the bale here and it kind of jams up against the flappy door here. And the claws, they're actually a bit short, oddly enough. The claws there rip the bale to shreds. And throw it into the mixer itself. That, I think, I'm happy with. And I just looked at the time, whoopsie, and slightly over. I'm going to leave it here, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 17 on the West Coast. Until next time, stay safe. And flap your mixer wagon. Goodbye.